Hello, guys. Welcome back to BroPod. I'm Sean, joined here by Nathan.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Today, we're going back to the past and talking about the younger days and what made them really so memorable. A much simpler time of easy school and playing Minecraft. Now, to start this episode off, let's talk about some childhood technologies, our experience with them. Nathan?
Yes, so on that topic of, like you said, childhood technologies, I remember my very first, I guess you could call it gaming device was like this
Yeah.
iPad. Well, it looked like an iPad, but then it wasn't touchscreen, yet it had these small buttons that had letters on them and I remember one of the games was that you had to spell out words before time runs out. And yeah, that was one of the games, and I guess it was just all education games that were supposed to, I guess, teach you at a young age. Are you familiar with the thing I'm talking about?
I'm not sure. What is it called?
Well, see, here's the
It's,
thing. I
it's either like a
don't.
Game Boy or an Atari. Yeah,
It's
so.
not. It's not a Game Boy, but it was. It was like I don't know what the brand was. It was like a. Ah. Oh my God! I actually thought about it. Wow. I actually never thought I would ever think about the name ever again. It's called Leapfrog. I believe that's called Leapfrog.
Leapfrog, huh?
Leapfrog.
Yeah, I probably heard of it, but I forgot. I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
Leapfrog.
Yeah, it just popped into my mind, and after what I remember, I played when I was 5, 6, and now I'm yeah a whole 10, 11 years later. Here, it just clicked.
The leapfrog.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
very
called a
nice. Very
leapfrog,
nice.
and then after that, I'm pretty sure we've all kind of encountered this device somewhere. It was the Wii Fit. Now, this was, even though it's an ancient one, like looking back at the Wii, it it looks ancient, but back then for us, it was groundbreaking technology, right? Like
Yeah, the Wii. You could like point your controller at the screen, and then it
you see
would
the
show up on
cursor.
screen. Like you could
Yeah,
move it. You could see the cursor moving around in like real
yeah.
time. That was just crazy stuff
Yeah, it was
back in the
crazy.
day.
There was nothing like it back then other than the Wii, and and then there was this other thing called the Wii Fit. It was like this plastic. It was this plastic
It's
board
like a
you would
board,
stand on,
right?
and actually can sense your like balance. You can sense your weight on it, which I found back then. Of course, like right now, I think it's kind of weird, but back then for us, it was kind of cool. And then there were games that relied on you to balance perfectly. Like there's this game I remember clearly. I sucked at it so much. It was actually you're supposed to walk across a tightrope without falling. And I remember I sucked so many times because I kept falling. I just couldn't find the balance. And yeah, have you played the Wii back then?
Yeah, I was definitely a Wii user back in the day. That's what really got me into playing video games. My first experiences were with the Wii, playing things like Wii Sports, Skylanders, I think it's called.
Oh,
Skylanders, right?
Skylanders. Yes, it was.
The little
It's
figurines.
that game where the little plastic figurines, that one
Yeah.
dragon, I believe is called Spyro. Spyro.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
name's
Spyro.
Spyro. Yeah, the
I
purple
mean,
dragon
yeah.
Spyro. Yeah.
Oh wow, it's just thinking back to it, and then there's the Wii. What else? There's the DS, and I remember one of
The
the first games
DS.
I ever played on the DS was actually Pokemon. And
Oh yeah, that was most people. Pokemon.
yeah, back then for us, Pokemon was actually a very popular game. And I remember a bunch of my friends would play Pokemon with each other at lunchtime, just
Yeah.
like at recess. We would sit with each other and play um, Pokemon. And in addition to playing it on the DS, I remember I used to trade cards. Like I remember at one point I had a lot of Magikarp Pokemon cards, which I found it odd, but nonetheless, I still enjoyed. But then I don't know for you, for me at least, Pokemon got very. it got boring after a while. So maybe after a couple of months playing Pokemon both on the DS and just the trading card game, I just got bored of it and just
Well,
left it
everything
there.
gets boring, of course.
Yeah,
Because
everything
something better
gets
comes along. That's perfectly natural.
yeah, and okay. So back to the DS. I'm kind of sad saying this because what happened to my DS, and so what happened was one day I actually came back from school. I was playing the DS on the car. Um, I left the DS on the car and went back in my home, and then I just went to bed. I totally forgot about the DS, and then when I woke up, it just occurred to me that I left my DS in the car, and
Oh no.
yeah, and then just walking in to my car, and this was wintertime, and we live in Canada, and you know how cold Canada weather can get, especially where we live.
Of course, of course.
Yeah,
Anywhere
it
in
gets
Canada, honestly.
yeah, anywhere in Canada, but it was cold nonetheless. And then I opened up the door, and then lo and behold, there sat my DS. And I opened it. I remember I touched it. It was really cold. I tried flicking on the power switch, but I, it wouldn't turn on. And then I took it back in. I tried charging it.
Yeah.
Nothing. It just died, which was very upsetting because I remember my mom bought it for me for my birthday present. The DS. It's actually a metallic red color, and yeah, it was. I loved it so much. I was so happy when she bought it for me, and like as soon as I got it working, I started playing, and then just to find it that out of my own idiot brain, I left it in the car in one of the
It
coldest
happens, bro. It
nights.
happens.
Yeah, I guess so. But
Yeah.
on the topic of, childhood technologies, I would also like to bring up the idea of phones. So back then, I didn't have a phone. The phone back then, the only phone I've ever seen was a BlackBerry, which was like my mom and dad had a BlackBerry back then, and
Blackberry.
they were
Yeah.
chunky. Like
Yeah,
they
like
were
bricks.
they were
Massive
bricks.
phones, I remember.
Yeah. And actually I got my first phone when I was 12, I believe. It was the iPhone 4. So like I said before, right now looking back at it, it's probably like a caveman technology. Like it was like the iPhone 4 was one chunky phone. Like it was like a brick. Like carrying
Yeah.
around a brick in your pocket, like an eye brick, I guess you could call it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. True.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, back then, new things like the iPhone, it wowed all of us. And anyways, back then, I would also like to talk about, for me, especially that made my childhood pretty memorable was maybe some of the TV shows we watched. Like
TV shows.
yeah, TV shows. I assume you are a SpongeBobber. If you're not, I loved SpongeBob
Personally, I
because
was not allowed to watch SpongeBob
really, why?
because I was told that it would rot my brain. And looking back, I think it kind of would because it's just some goofy stuff on SpongeBob.
Yeah, goofy stuff. I mean, back then I loved SpongeBob, like I said before, but it's
Yeah.
just something a comedic kind of thing. It's just two idiots like Patrick and SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Two absolute
I mean,
idiots,
yeah.
and then they annoy the absolute heck out of their neighbors, Squidward.
Yeah.
And
The
then
crab and
yeah, that crab, Krusty Krab, that
capitalist crab.
yeah, that one dude who loves money and a lot, and yeah, I would enjoy it so much. My mom had to pry me away from the TV just so we can go eat dinner, and even after that, I just loved SpongeBob so much, and we actually watched it on the TV network called YTV, and I remember back then
YTV.
all my friends watched that, but right now we don't watch TV. I don't watch TVs anymore, but
Yeah.
really
Nobody watches TV. TVs are dead.
yeah, I usually just watch YouTube, but and Netflix, and of course Netflix. Back then, like back then, like YTV when I was watching YTV. I know Netflix existed back then in, I believe it was 1998 when it was still a DVD rental company, and um, yeah, it was just I never heard of Netflix, and then all of a sudden we find ourselves right now close to the very end of 2020. We watch YouTube or Netflix, and just to think how much we've come is just kind of astounding. I don't know. How about you, Sean? Like how are your experiences with like childhood technologies or like phones?
Um, I remember when I was younger, I didn't really want a phone because I thought it was, kind of conforming to this idea that everyone needs a phone. I just thought that was lame. So I just, whenever my mom said, "Do you want a phone?" I'd say, "No, Mom, I don't want no phone. I don't need a phone. I'm good." But eventually, my mom in like grade 7, she's like, "Sean, you need to get a phone because everyone else has a phone." And then she got me a phone. I was like, "Oh, thanks, I guess." What about you? When did you get your first phone?
Well, I think when I was around 12, so around grade 7, grade 6, I guess, and then I got
so
my
lucky.
iPhone 4. I remember
Yeah.
it was a white iPhone 4. Yeah, that's when I first started playing games, like mobile games. My first mobile game was, I think you're familiar with it. I think all of you listeners know what Doodle Jump is. Yeah,
Doodle Jump. Yeah.
Doodle Jump.
I've seen it in an arcade, but apparently it's also a phone game,
Yeah, it is. It is a
right?
phone game,
Yeah.
and it always has been a phone game. And Doodle Jump, I guess you could call addicted to it. Like
Yeah.
on the when I was in the car when my mom was going to drop me off, I
You're
would
playing Doodle Jump.
yeah, I was playing Doodle Jump. Yeah, that was like one of my, and of course, I can't forget about Fruit Ninja.
Fruit Ninja, a
Fruit
classic,
Ninja,
of course.
a
Nothing
very
like
classic
slicing
one.
some fruits and vegetables. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's also this other game that I forgot what it was called, but it was where you had to dig like tunnels so the water would reach this small alligator.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot what it's called.
Where's my water? I think it was called.
Oh
I
yeah, it was like a puzzle game. You had to like
Yeah, it
dig in the
was.
dirt and
You
then
had to dig
like
in the dirt to get the water to this alligator, and
so I
it
could
was
shower. I
yeah, I
think.
was addicted to that as well, I guess. And then, yeah, how about you? Like, how are you with mobile games?
Yeah, mobile games back in the day, like on an iPad, I'd play like Plants vs Zombies.
Oh, Plants.
Like the original Plants
The
vs
original
Zombies.
one.
That was pretty good.
Crazy Dave.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Crazy Dave. He's got his tin can. It's iconic.
it's
Even
iconic.
today, people
It's
remember that game
timeless.
as being a good game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just things like that don't die. See, like that's what, in my opinion, like if for my childhood back then, I think that's what made like a lot of people's childhood so memorable was some things that like I'll like for example for SpongeBob I'll say since SpongeBob I've always loved SpongeBob. Even now sometimes on YouTube I just search up SpongeBob clips because I don't know, I just love watching two idiots bully the heck out of Squidward. I mean, it's just fun. I mean, these days, for me especially, I've got tests after tests after tests after tests. It gets to you. You know what I mean? Like
Of
it,
course.
it, it just gets to your brain, and then you just all of a sudden, it just feels so. It's just weighing you down, and then just to have that kind of mental break where you can watch, SpongeBob. It just now it might sound weird saying this, but if it makes you feel like a kid again, you're reliving your childhood just watching
Yeah.
that, and I feel it's very memorable, especially SpongeBob, and watching these videos. I think it's a good mental break to have.
So you still like watch SpongeBob and stuff
Well,
to connect with your like childhood, or
time to time, maybe like last week I actually watched a full episode of SpongeBob, and I
oh
remember watching it years ago when I was a little kid, And just having that, like I said, it made me feel like a feeling. Made me feel like when I was like 6 or 7 again. It was just the memories. But then, yeah. How about you, Sean? Like, did you have any favorite TV shows back then?
TV shows. I think the Backyardigans, maybe when I was younger.
Yes, the Backyardigans.
Really, whatever was on TV. I don't remember else.
Yeah.
Backyardigans.
Anything else. Timothy Goes to School was also a very iconic, I guess you could say, a very iconic TV show for me that I enjoyed a lot. And Max and Ruby, you know those two bunnies.
No, I don't remember that one.
Oh.
Was it a YTV?
Yes, it was on Treehouse, I believe. It was
Treehouse.
It was part of the morning channel. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot, and that was pretty much it for my TV shows. But also, I would also like to bring up the idea of songs back then, like early 2000 like songs from back then, and
yeah,
like looking at songs today, it's changed a lot, just the tone and everything. Back then, songs were, I know it might
more
not
like pop.
It was more
stuff,
like
right?
back then it was catchy. Like now it's not really. It's just now I might be wrong on this, so this is just my thoughts. I still like the the present day music, so like 2020 music and 2018 music. But back then, I think the music back then was more catchy. But what about you, Sean?
Okay, so you're on the old music is good, new music is bad train?
Well, see, here's the thing. I'm not necessarily on that train, but I will definitely say old music has more. I want to say old music has more soul to it. I guess you could say it was more catchy, whereas you've got new songs coming out. They're just random, really. So, but I'm not saying I don't like new songs. I do like them. I mean, I do like some of the artists like Drake or Khalid. You know what I mean, right? Or Eminem. But
yeah, I can hang with a few songs.
Yeah, I kind of just I'm just trying to say, like, I enjoy both, but I kind of think old songs were, they had more, they were more catchy, like I said before, and they had more soul to it. Like, what did you enjoy any old songs?
Old songs. I think I remember one. It goes a little bit like this. Counting Stars, I believe.
Counting Stars.
I was about to sing it there, but then I realized it's probably not a good idea. So
wasn't it called? Let me think. One Republic.
We'll be counting stars. Okay, that's enough singing.
That was that was perfect.
He's like, baby, I've been nothing.
Counting stars. Oh, that's enough singing.
I don't even know
me.
what it means, but it sounded good. Okay, and that was basically my mindset.
Well, I'm not a singer, but you get what I mean, right? Counting Stars. Yes, I personally remember Counting Stars, and I remember listening on the radio, just going to school or coming back from school, just.
Yeah, it slaps. It slaps.
Yeah, it slaps. It was definitely it had a lot of meaning, and then I just loved listening. It was catchy. I loved listening to it, just vibing to that song on the radio.
Yeah.
In the car.
There were some good songs back then.
Yeah, there were some good songs, and I think songs also kind of made, my childhood very memorable because a lot of them were, like I said, catchy. Like you could dance to it. You could, especially the old. I remember dancing. I loved like, Justin Bieber or Taylor Swift. Those were very iconic. Like they made iconic songs back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Nathan, let's move on to computers now and when we started using them. So when did you start using them, Nathan? Computers?
Well, it depends because computers, before, I remember the first time I actually used a computer was grade 1, but the first time I actually saw a computer was way before that, and because I remember my dad, he actually had a desktop
Yeah.
in the basement, and he would do work, and sometimes I would just look on the his desktop just to watch videos and do whatnot. I was little. I was stupid. I was yeah. Well,
Well, what were you
stupid
watching
was the
there
only
that
thing you
made you
could.
stupid on the computer?
Yeah, you could probably sum up me being stupid because one time I had the bright idea. I took see, my dad had a bunch of tools in his basement, so like there's this room in the basement where he kept all the tools like screwdrivers, whatnot. And then me being the stupid person I was back then, I took a screwdriver and then I just poked the screen a few times, and then there were a few marks. I know
Oh
me.
wait, okay, dude.
That is sacrilegious.
Yeah, that.
In like right now, thinking back to it, is
Hey, you're
sacrilegious
young,
of
you're
me
dumb. These
doing
things
that.
happen. Okay, poke
Yeah,
holes in your monitor.
that was very stupid of me. But going back, I digress. And the first time I ever saw use a computer, sorry, was in grade one, where we had to use the computer because there was some typing. There was like a typing exercise
Like
we
a
had to
Chromebook.
do, and we had to go into the school and log into the school computer. So back then, this was like when Windows had that classical like opening and closing
Like
sound.
Windows 7.
I'm sure you're familiar with it, right?
Yeah, the da 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 da
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah, that was the first time I used a computer, and on the topic of computer and in our childhood, I'm sure you're familiar with browser games such as, the
The browser games,
Poptropica, I guess. Yeah,
of course.
Poptropica.
Yeah, like
Uh
the websites with games on the websites. They
yeah,
like put
like
an ad or
Kizzy, I
something.
remember one.
Yeah.
Nitro Zone was one. But I think my favorite one, I know there was Club Penguin,
Club Penguin
which
was a good one.
sadly ended. I think there was something on the news said, well, online it said that Club Penguin actually closed down, which was kind of sad
Yeah,
because
Club
Club
Penguin's
Penguin.
dead. Yeah, I don't know. Something
Yeah,
happened to it.
we kind of I played Club Penguin with some of my friends, and it was fun playing with them. But then there was also Poptropica. I'm
Poptropica. I
sure
didn't
you're
really
familiar
do
with
much
that.
in that one. So what do you do in that one exactly?
Well, you essentially create an account. So,
Of course.
I'll say another embarrassing, stupid, I guess you could call story with Poptropica. So the first time one of my friends actually introduced me to Poptropica, I didn't know what it was first of all, so I started playing, and then this was in the school laptops. So we started playing these games, and then all of a sudden, I just loved it. And then, but then here's the thing. Here's when it starts to get real interesting. I actually forgot my password and my username a lot. So
Ooh,
every time I
crisis.
would log onto a computer, I would create another username, create another password.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
every time I logged on, I kept creating one, and then I kept logging off, creating another one,
I'm
and then
sure that's
logging
happened
off,
to
creating
everyone.
another
Yeah.
one. Yeah, and then maybe after a while, I kind of just decided, oh, I should start just remembering the name. So I just remember my username, remember my password, wrote it down on a piece of paper,
Whoa, you
and
wrote
then
it down on
yeah,
a piece of paper? That's like
I know I
extreme
don't know.
lengths.
It was just me back then, but you get what I mean.
Yeah, like
Anyways,
back in the
so
day, I just
I
used the
just
same
started.
password for everything. You know?
Yeah, I just started playing Pop Tropica, and yeah, it was one of the, I guess you could call it, childhood browser games
Yeah.
that
What?
I enjoyed.
Okay. What was your favorite like game on a game website? Like a website with lots of
Game
games. Can you
website.
remember any?
I think it was called. Now it's been a while since I've. Now I'm pretty sure quite recently on the news you've heard that Adobe Flash is going to
Oh
be
yeah,
canceled,
they're killing it.
which is very sad because a lot of the browser games relied on Flash Player, and just to see it close down, it's a. I don't want to say it's a good send off, but Adobe Flash Player, it's brought us a quite fond memories.
Yeah, it
So
held out as long as it could, but no one
yeah,
wants to play browser
and
games anymore.
well, 2020 is the last year we're gonna have it,
Yeah, the death of
but
Adobe.
yeah. Anyways, I digress. My favorite perhaps game online was it was called I think it was Fire Boy and Water Girl, or
Yeah,
was
that's
it
the one.
Water
That's
Girl and
the one. I
Fire
remember
Boy?
that one.
Fire Girl and Water Boy, or Water Girl and Fire Boy?
Yeah, something fire, water,
It
boy,
was
girl.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then it was like two players or one player. And yeah, we would just play it in the computer lab, like I said, and it was really fun.
Yeah, you like play with friends. It's a multiplayer game, right? You kind of need.
It's just a two-player game because one person controls the Fire Girl, Fire Boy, whatever it is.
You like play with a friend?
Yeah, I occasionally play with a friend, but if I didn't, I would usually just play by myself. And I remember the whole aim of the game is to go through the levels and open the doors to get to the next level.
Yeah, it's a simple game, but it's good for its time and it's free, so you can't really complain.
Yeah, I mean back then, like I said, with like for example, the Wii. Right now, looking back at it and looking at the games right now, we play we play games like Cyberpunk, right? Or we play games like CS:GO or Gmod or any of those games. But compared to the games and like browser games, looking back at it, it looks like it was like caveman technology, like you said. But back then for us, it was crazy. We've never really seen a thing like online games like that before. So what about you, Sean? What's your take on browser games?
I mean, they were good for the time, but they were bound to die eventually. Like platforms like Steam, you can get games for free too. They're just better games. Just so much more access to stuff.
Yeah, Steam.
Websites.
Steam is a whole
obsolete.
hub of it's like a big collection of games.
Yeah.
You know, you could. Yeah, I personally use Steam, and it's really useful to store a bunch of games and to uninstall them if you don't have any space. But I personally, my first Steam game was Team Fortress 2, and I'm sure you're familiar with that game, right? Team Fortress 2.
It's a good game. Yeah, it's free. It's on Steam.
It's
for
free.
Those of you
It's
who
on
don't
Steam.
know,
It's
just a shooting game.
Yeah, it's it was a very cool game. It was also a shooter game, but I'll admit it was a lot better than Far Cry than me playing on the 360 because Far Cry was a lot more graphic, I guess you could say. It was more realistic than TF2 because TF2 was had a more animated kind of approach to it.
TF2's just more like cartoony and stuff. It's more lighter. It doesn't.
And then after TF2 was Gary's Mod. I think you've heard of it.
Yeah, it's another Steam game.
Yeah, so by the time I started playing Gary's Mod, that was pretty much the end to my childhood. So, goodbye to all those browser games or any whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then to think about comparing games such as these days, like the most recent game that released was Cyberpunk 2077, and comparing that to some of the games we played back then, for like Leapfrog or the Wii Fit, Wii Sports, right? We've definitely come a long way, but even though as much as I like to play games such as like Cyberpunk or Gary's Mod or CS:GO, I still feel that even though we play these games now, I think back then it's the games we played back then that have more meaning. They hold more meaning to it. Like, even though Wii Sports right now is probably junk compared to, like I said, Cyberpunk 2077, I think it's a good... Those games have definitely gave me fond memories.
Yeah.
Like
you're getting all philosophical.
Just enjoying time.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I remember playing with my mom and my sister and my dad just in weekends, just trying to stay balanced, to not fall off the tightrope, and
some fun stuff.
Yeah, I just remembered so many fond memories of playing the Wii. So what about you? Do you what's your take, even though about just how you grew up?
It was good. I grew up around I guess gaming. It wasn't really frowned upon. I played games with my sister, my mother sometime. Sisters.
Oh.
Yeah, and it was pretty fun. Yeah, so I can't really complain.
Yeah,
I think
I
we've
mean,
talked
it's
around like
personal preference, right?
yeah, personal preference.
Yeah.
So we've
Yeah.
actually talked around somehow Minecraft. Uh, I'm pretty sure for everyone, Minecraft was a big part of their younger gaming years if they played games. So what about you, Nathan?
Yeah.
Were you a Minecrafter?
Minecraft.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get it when it first came out, but I remember I played it around the same time. It was before Gary's Mod, so I played it around the same time as Team Fortress 2. So I remember just at lunchtime talking with one of my friends, and he mentioned this game called Minecraft. I've never
Yeah.
heard of Minecraft. Like back then, I was like, "What the heck is Minecraft?" And then I searched it up. I started watching videos of it, and then I was like, it actually looks interesting. I might ask my mom if I could buy it. So I bought it, and then within weeks, days, like I was hooked. I loved Minecraft. You build houses or kill creepers and zombies. I mean, whatnot, right? That was a really fun kind of thing. And then before I knew it, I started playing almost every single weekend.
Yeah.
And yeah, to see Minecraft back then and Minecraft now, Minecraft has come a long way.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Some of
Before it
my
was called
yeah.
Minecraft, it was actually called the Cave Game, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was like in way back the day. It was
Yeah, that was
caveman
way when it
times.
first came out when it was released by, I forgot the company name again.
Mojang, or
Mojang, yeah, Mojang.
it's Java game. So yeah, it's made by Mojang.
Yeah, Java game. But even then, even though it's like, you put down blocks and everything,
Yeah.
it's very cool. And even now, uh, like I said, maybe Poptropica, like those games, Poptropica or Wii, haven't really. I think quite recently, Minecraft was, I guess you could call it was revived.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think soon there's going to be a new cave update.
Yeah.
Yeah, a new cave
There's so
update,
many
which is
updates. Yeah.
really cool. Which back then we didn't have, and yeah, Minecraft is definitely an exception because I never really lost interest in it. I've always been interested by Minecraft.
Okay, what I
What
found
about
with
you?
Minecraft is it's really more fun with friends because if you're playing Minecraft alone, it's kind of boring, right? So
What?
my
Well,
experience with
yeah,
Minecraft
sure.
is like when the friends were playing Minecraft, I'd be on Minecraft, but if they weren't, I wouldn't be anywhere near Minecraft. I like to play with
Well,
friends.
here's the
It's
thing
more like a friend
with
game.
my experience with Minecraft. I played most of Minecraft actually by myself. I finished the game without my friend's help.
Yeah.
I just finished the entire game by myself without like I defeated the Ender Dragon by myself. Although it did take a long time though, but I still did it by myself. But
Nice.
like I said, yeah, I just had a long time now. That's pretty much it for yeah, games really too, like during my childhood to the end of my childhood. And like I said before, some of the games like even though they are not really fancy graphics or like Cyberpunk, they definitely did
Yeah.
create some core memories, I guess you could call it. It's kind of like an Inside Out reference, like you
Yeah.
get like a core memory, right? Like a
Yeah, the
really,
core memories. Yeah. Inside Out.
yeah, core
I
memory. Yeah,
also
I
from
know
my
it might
childhood.
sound weird, but like a game giving me these good memories, but it's just that having that quality time together, playing with my mom and my dad and my sister,
Yeah.
it's just that having that valuable family time. I think that's what makes it, and like having that family time with like your family and playing games with your family, I think is very they definitely create, like I said before, create core memories.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would also like to move on to the idea of social media. Now,
Social
I
media.
don't know about you. I know Facebook has been around for a
There's like
while.
Facebook. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, Facebook. But I never really heard about like social media until I was 10 or 10 or 9. But even
Yeah.
then I didn't create an account because back then we didn't, when I was 6 or 7, even my parents did not have social media accounts. They were kind of just, you know,
Like
off
not
the
even
grid. They
Facebook.
had their friends. They kept in contact with their friends over the phone,
Oh my
but never
gosh!
on
Imagine,
social media.
imagine just using the phone to keep up with friends in this day and age.
Yeah, I mean, like nowadays, if you think about it, it's kind of weird not to keep up with your friends on social media, because back then I think so. I think if I might be wrong, but I believe Instagram was made around 2011.
I don't know when it was made, but it kind of got
2011,
popular around that
2010.
time. Like when
Yeah, it
people actually
got
started making accounts. Because
yeah,
like
it
other
just
people had
started
it.
getting yeah, I think getting a social media account back then. I remember when I was 12, there was these group of girls
Yeah.
who had Instagram accounts, and we were like, "Oh my god,
Oh,
these
and
girls were
you
the
and the
cool
boys are
girls."
trying to get with those girls, so you got Instagram.
Like
Come on, tell me that
they
story. That's
were
what you did.
yeah, like
Yeah.
there was these girls who would post about, you know, what they ate, or, you know, I mean, they still do this now. I mean, who doesn't? I usually do that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit weird, but just go with the flow, I guess.
Wait, how
But
old were you when this happened? Like, girls posting their food. Like, is this early on, or was this like grade like
uh,
8ish, 9ish? Like, what are we looking at here?
grade for me it was grade. Now it might sound like grade 5 actually.
Grade 5, yeah. Just
And how I knew this was because I created it. Or I created my first Instagram account, but I deleted it soon after because I don't know. It was this new aspect on life. Like back then in my childhood, like during my childhood, I never really heard about social media. It was just I didn't really have to stay. I didn't really text friends. If I wanted to talk to my friends back then during my childhood,
Yeah.
I would go to their house. Back then during my childhood, like when I was 4 or 5, I would just with my mom or my dad, I would walk down to my friend's house, knock on their door, would be like, "Hey, would you like to, you know, go down to the playground and play?"
Oh,
Like
so you were one of those kids that like went outside when they were young, like for fun.
yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Hmm.
I was not
Yeah,
one of
but
those.
now
Yeah.
I think with social media, I not necessarily it's a bad thing, but I think it causes
That's a whole nother
because
topic in
people
itself.
keep texting. Yeah, it's not
Talk
like
about
it.
that in a future
It
episode.
gets rid of that aspect of talking physically, but
Well,
you know, back
we don't want to
then,
open up this. There's a lot of stuff to unpack
yeah,
here
it's
if we
kind of
go
getting
into
deep.
social media. So another time.
Yeah, but you get what I mean. What like my first social media account I got created in grade 5 or grade 6,
Yeah.
but then I deleted it, like I said, and then the next time I created a new account was in grade 7, grade 8.
Did you like post on these accounts?
Well,
Like
here's
as a young
the
gun,
thing.
what are you gonna post on Instagram if you post it?
I posted I don't know. Well, I didn't really understand the concept of posting stuff on social media. I kind of just posted you know, take a picture of the sky and say, "Oh, what a beautiful day it is today."
Oh, that's so wholesome.
And
Oh,
I didn't know what to post because I was young. I was stupid. I was
I remember my
foolish,
posting.
I guess.
It was what I would call today cringe. Okay, I was
Cringe,
really into
yes,
Minecraft
cringe.
when I got like Instagram. So like went on
Yeah,
Google.
cringe.
I searched up like mushroom, and they got a
Mushroom.
mushroom like Ender Dragon. All right, and this was just the craziest thing to me. Like it's like a red and white Ender Dragon, like because it's like a mushroom. You know what a mushroom is, right?
Yeah, mushroom.
Yeah. So
Minecraft.
anyways,
Yeah.
I posted it on my Instagram. I just screen captured it, put it on Instagram. Say, take a look at this mushroom cow. And looking back, it was just so. I didn't even think anything was wrong with it. I just like take a look at this. This is cool. Is this how you use Instagram? It's like
Yeah.
I'm still learning how to do it.
I just didn't know. I usually would, like you said, take random photos off the internet.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
just
exactly.
like back then, memes. Like I would also like to bring up the topic about memes.
The memes.
During my childhood, there was no such thing as memes.
I think there were, but they
I
were like
didn't
really
hear-
bad memes. Like like there's like a spiral color image. There's like words. That's like not
Yeah,
funny.
like those. Yeah,
Yeah.
they were supposed to be funny, but thinking back, like you said, it was cringe. But nowadays we have so many memes, but what like by the time I created my Instagram, like my very first one, I would find these really these it was like the early memes with the big bold white text
Yeah,
and then
those
like a
memes.
photo
Those
at the
are the
back.
ones
It
I'm
was
talking
like
about.
the early memes. Like you remember Angry Cat? Like this Grumpy Cat. I forgot what they call it. Grumpy Cat.
Oh yeah, Grumpy Cat. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that
Grumpy
cat. Yeah.
Cat. Oh, and I would just just try to just download it off the internet and just post it into Instagram. Just as for laughs. But then, like you said, going back, thinking back to that, it was cringe.
Yeah. It was
But
okay. It was okay.
nowadays I don't post a lot. Like once or twice maybe in a month I would post. Like I said, maybe me and a bunch of friends, or just me during the holidays or whatnot.
Like when you were younger, on Instagram.
Uh,
Or like,
on Instagram, well, like this is me now.
oh,
Like
modern.
I take, like I said before, I take pictures of like me during the holidays, sorry, or me with friends, like playing games or whatnot.
Right, that's totally acceptable to post. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess habits change as you grow older. Like as you grow older, when during the childhood, like I said, that was, I will call it now, that was the good old days. Like you said before,
Yeah, everyone's still learning. There isn't really like what you're supposed to do on Instagram.
no, like yeah, just the good old days in general. Like you could do whatever you want back then.
Yeah, because
You
you're
could.
young and stuff.
Yeah, you were young.
And
You
we're still
didn't.
young
There
right
was
now,
no such
but
thing as diplomas or tests. Well, there was tests, but all those tests they were easy and all. There was no stress
yeah,
really. And
pass
then as you grow older, like now, you and me, we both know what stresses we've tackled it a lot.
naturally, of course.
Naturally, of course, it's just it comes and goes. And yeah, how's your so far in life so far? How's your experience with social media, and how much you've come, I guess.
That is a lot to unpack, and I think we should go into that perhaps another time.
Maybe another time. That
Yes,
might be
yes.
a good topic for another episode. But I would like to also add for our childhood. Maybe there was this thing in our childhood. Maybe there was other games such as, I remember, I don't play this anymore. Of course, I'm too old for that game.
Yeah.
You might have heard of the game Red Rover.
Oh yeah, the playground games.
Red
Yeah,
Rover.
we just
Yeah.
they're just running at each other, trying to kill each other. Yeah,
Yeah, you're trying to catch the, like, there are two or three people. It's kind of like tag. So they stand in the middle of the field, and you're supposed to get to the other
just
side.
clotheslining each
And
other.
then
It's crazy.
yeah, and then you're trying to, and then you say Red Rover. I call over. I don't know. For example, some kids wearing a white shirt. I call over, people wearing white shirt. That kid would run screaming, try not
Yeah.
to get caught. If you get tagged, then you become part of the people in the middle of the field. And in addition to, like, the leapfrog back then, or Wii sports games, I loved that game, uh, Red Rover. Or I don't play these games anymore because, first of all, I'm too old for those games.
Yeah,
Anyways, there are other games, like I said, like hide and seek,
hide and seek. Like
or tag.
yeah,
Those were, even though there was like, those were not like electronic games like the leapfrog or Wii. I think those also had very.
yeah.
I also made very fond memories,
Those
core
are decent
memories,
on the
just playing
playground.
these.
Like when no one has
Yeah.
like phones and stuff. Yeah, just
Yeah,
some hide and
when
seek.
no one
and
had
whatever.
phones.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
stuff.
Also, in my childhood, I don't know about you. There was also, we also had this thing in our school called, during this was at the end of school time. We had this thing called, it was a cleanup song. I forgot how it went,
Oh yeah, I know.
but it
I
was
can
a
sing it, but I won't.
yeah, it was a cleanup song. And then I loved it back then. I remember I would sing it to my mom, and then she would clap because I sang it. And then yeah, it was just really
Nice.
fun. Like, what are some of your memories? I guess you could say from your childhood. Like, what stuck with you the most?
Stuck with me the most. Mostly just gaming, honestly. Like,
Gaming.
I was into it a lot. Like Minecraft, play with my friends basically all the time once I finish my homework. And now I'm just kind of,
Oh.
yeah, just this complete gamer guy.
Oh,
I mean,
well,
it sounds
yeah.
kind of
Well,
crazy
how
when I say it
old were
like
you
that.
back then? Like when you started playing games?
It's hard to say. I don't know. I don't know the exact date. But I started with an iPad, then it moved to a Wii, then moved to a computer, then it moved to an Xbox One, then back to a
I
computer.
see.
You know? It's
Well, here's the
it
thing. Well,
builds on
when I
top of each
said
other.
like uh, the cleanup song, I meant like preschool or kindergarten. I
Okay,
didn't
I
mean
have
like
no
grade
idea.
two
Okay, I don't
because
even.
that's just weird.
That is so weird, though.
But
I have no idea.
that would be a whole different story. But anyways,
Yeah.
as for me, I didn't play like I said. I didn't play until the very first one was actually like the very first actual game I played was a Leapfrog, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But then after that, it was like I said, it was Wii, and then after Wii it was Far Cry, and then TF2, and then Gary's Mod, and then it just kind of went from there. I mean, as of now, I'm not like you. I'm not saying I'm not like I'm not such a heavy gamer like you. I'm more of a I try to balance it out. Honestly, I don't play a lot of games. I'm pretty busy day to day. I have to play my instruments. I have to read. I have to study, and
Understandable.
yeah, it's
That
just
Asian life. That Asian life. I know, bro. It's good. Yeah.
yeah, sure. But it's just yeah, you just have to find that. For me, especially, I just have to find that balance. Maybe sometimes in the weekend, maybe I'll probably game a little while, and then but that's pretty much it these days.
I mean, I'm not
Yeah,
saying I game
so
24/7. Like, of course I do other things.
yeah, of
Yeah.
course you sleep at least,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
eat
I
food,
sleep.
or
But that's, yeah.
relieve yourself in the back. Yeah, you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not gaming 24. You're not like hardcore gaming, right? You're just I'm sure you game more than me.
Oh, yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah,
So,
but also what's your what do you like playing? This is completely maybe off the topic, but what do you like playing?
just
Like
games in
what
general.
genre?
I like indie games. I like
Indie?
roguelikes. If you're not a
Ah,
gamer, this will not make sense to you at all. It'll just sound like a bunch of gibberish.
gibberish.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you're familiar. This was actually in grade 6, grade 5 actually. I started playing this game called League of Legends. And yeah, I think I started hearing this game from a few of the older kids who
Yeah,
were
League of
playing League
Legends.
of Legends, and I was like, "What's League of Legends?" So I searched it up, and it was like, "Oh, this is." It was I didn't really understand the game mechanics of it, but yeah, after a while, I just started playing League of Legends, and I loved it. But then, like I said before, I started losing interest in League of Legends, and then maybe around grade 7, grade 8,
Yeah.
I just cut it out of my life entirely. And I'm sure you're familiar with League of Legends,
Yeah.
right?
I've had my fair share of experiences with League of Legends. Playing with
Yeah,
friends and
and
stuff.
then I mean everything loses interest. And I do you still play League of Legends?
Once in a while, when I feel like playing League of Legends, I'll play League of Legends.
Yeah, and also personally, my favorite is FPS. For those people who do not know what FPS means, it stands for first person shooter. And there are some games like one of my favorites actually Halo. Halo's always been a classic for me. I've been playing Halo since Halo Reach. Halo like it definitely I didn't play it when it first came out, but I played it when it was like later on. But for me, Halo was definitely one of my favorite FPS games. And then there was also games such as, like I said in the previous podcast, horror games. I loved playing it, even though I sometimes stay up nights, just thinking, oh, there probably is a ghost in my bedroom. And like I said before, again in the previous podcast, Five Nights at Freddy's was actually my very first horror game for me. Yeah. And that wraps it up for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you in the next episode. Good night, guys.
Hello, listeners. Thanks for making it to the end and listening to BroPod on YouTube. If you like what you hear, drop a like, comment, or subscription. Check out some other episodes, and until next time, peace.